Hey, what's up, snipers? Sniper Nick here, and tonight we're gonna go over the watch list for tomorrow, which is Wednesday, December 18th. Interesting watch list tonight because we are actually short overnight, and interesting enough, that company that we went short in actually opened a retail location right down the street from the shop, or actually they're opening up a retail location because they weren't there, and we were actually able to go there today, and we finished the market there. Got to check it out. It was right down the street. Why not? We wanted to see the product, see how it was, but it is not open yet. And rumors is it may never open. Kind of sketchy, So some sketchiness surrounding this short. Anyway, we'll talk about it when we dive into this watch list. So let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna dive into the watch list for tonight. Again, like I said, it's gonna be Wednesday, December 18th. Before I dive in, I do want to give a quick shout out to the chat room. Got people firing away. Our boy Jack hit us up and let us know that he was actually short MedMen as well, and he profited today. So he actually sold his shorts today and was able to profit 400. Jarrett always crushing it. As you can see, he's long in OVID, which is a 52-week breakout. Jordan's been crushing it. He's new to the game. So big shout out to the chat. Keep crushing it, guys, and let's keep doing it. All right, so here's the watch list for tomorrow. On the left side is the watch list. The right side, I'm gonna have TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. This is where we make all of our trades. First stock we're gonna start with is a stock we're short in, and that is MedMen, MMNFF. It's an OTC stock, and it's an actual cannabis dispensary. Okay, the company's name is MedMen, and they had 4 straight green days off their lows. So we actually entered a short position when they started to show its weakness yesterday. We went ahead and swung, and we grabbed 4,500 shares short at 67 yesterday, and we got a crack down to the 60s, so we were up a little bit over 10%. But honestly, we figured this stock has more downside. We've been following MedMen for a while. This bounce is completely random. They have no news, and they actually have negative hype surrounding them, which I'll talk about in a second. But we believe that we can get a cover in the mid to high 50s, so that's what we wanted. It did get down to 60 today, so it almost got in the 50s, but it bounced off that 60. That was the low. So our plan is, since we are still holding it and swinging for another night, our plan is for this thing to test that 60 support tomorrow early and see if we get a crack. If it doesn't crack tomorrow and it shows that it's holding that 60, we'll go ahead and cover up for a small win. So that's our plan here, but we do see more downside. This is the first red day. We were able to catch it a little bit early, so this is the first red day. It's usually a bearish symbol. They actually announced some fluff news, as you can see in the watch list. They announced some fluff news last week, but since then they've been surrounded by negative press. They laid off 190 employees in November to make 2020 EBITDA, they said. They're also trying to ban home grows if Florida goes legal, and everybody in Florida knows that. So the community's kind of upset with MedMen right now because people in a legal state, they want to have the rights to grow at their home or not. You know, if they want to go to a dispensary, they can or not. And then also, if you haven't seen recently, South Park on their newest season, they actually opened up the season bashing MedMen. So exposed MedMen and exposed how they're trying to bring corporate into the cannabis industry in the wrong ways. So check that out. It's a funny episode. It's a lot of negative hype around MedMen. And on top of it, it's just a really bad long-term chart. So we're hoping to get some more tomorrow. You know, we'll see if we can cover into the 50s for a nice 20% win. That'd be nice, 15, 20% win. If not, if it does hold that 60 in the morning and buyers step in, as you can see over here at the bottom, we said, you know, we'll take that quick win. All right, the next one, XXII. So this one is actually in the tobacco industry. Interesting enough, it's a listed stock. And interesting enough, they got FDA's approval to start selling 2 reduced nicotine cigarettes in the US. So that news ended up catching some hype for XXII, and it got a pop today. All right, so we're keeping an eye on it to see if it can hold that pop, see if that news gets a second leg, gets a second day. Maybe we'll get some more attention overnight. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye. As you can see, this is that first green day, and it does have that multi-month resistance at 125, which is a key spot. And after that, it's a little bit of smooth sailing to 150. So So interesting chart here on the long-term chart. Let's look at the 1 day, 1 minute. As you can see, when this news came out at 10:30, they got a huge spike from 83 all the way from 121, dipped after, and it never got back to that 120, but it is holding ones into close. So we're gonna go ahead and keep an eye to see if this could creep back up. The next long-term resistance is 150. Let's see, XXII, see if that FDA news gets some hype. This next group of stocks, this is a group of low float listed stocks, and these are the low float plays that had big spikes today, and they all actually end up closing up 30%. So pretty nice for these stocks, and they all actually end up closing, holding their gains into the close. We'll start with PEIX. PEIX, this one's coming up to a key spot here, 65. So we're gonna be watching that spot. It did close just off of it of 64. We'll be keeping an eye on here. A little bit illiquid on the 1 day, 1 minute chart. However, it is lower float, and this is the only one out of this bunch that actually had news. The news isn't amazing. The news is whatever. It's nothing amazing. It just said they reached a long-term agreement with their lenders. Next on the list, it says INPX and ONCI didn't have catalyst, but just spiked on volume. So first, let's start with ONCI. Coming up to a multi-month resistance of 2. This one also had a big spike today. In the morning, it spiked from 158 to 194 in 7 minutes. So a nice spike, and then after it spiked, it dipped, but it did create 173 support. So we're gonna look to see if it holds this 173 support here that is held into the close. We're gonna see if this holds it tomorrow morning. And then last on this low float list is INPX. This one got a delayed spike, started spike at 2:30, and it ended up spiking 100%, going from 4 to close right under 8. It actually got a spike all the way to 8.4, so over 100%. It's a share structure of these plays. These are all low floats, and it's crazy because today was considered a slow day, but you still got these 3 big low float spikers with big opportunity throughout the day. And then with INPX, as you can see, it is up even more after hours. So we're gonna keep an eye on that pre-market to see if it is holding up. Pre-market should be telling. As you can see, this is the first green day after really not doing anything on this long-term chart. I always love to end it with a little wild card sub-penny pick, and we got one today. It's WSGF. This is my sub-penny pick, and this is actually a former sub-penny that turned into a penny last week, so it is a penny stock now. You no longer have to cut a penny in half to get a share of the company. And the news here, they came out with news saying they have a $10 million milestone event on Thursday, December 19th. So 2 days, all right? So let's go to the chart here, WSGF. Look at that long-term chart, choppy besides recently, and this is that wild move from the sub-pennies all the way up to 2.2. It did take its dip, but they repumped the news today, and it got another spike to bring it back to the 2s, but it didn't hold the 2s. However, that event is coming Thursday. Let's use tomorrow as that anticipation day. We're gonna keep an eye here. As you can see, we have the alert already set to see if this could come back up into the 2s, because check out the long-term chart. The all-time high of this company, World Series of Golf, is 0.022. It's nearing that spot again. We'll keep an eye on here. This is our wild card pick here, World Series of Golf, WSGF. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you picked up some tickers. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and slam a comment, subscribe to our channel. Got videos that we're going to be posting all the time. Thanks for always tuning in. Much love, snipers. See you guys in the chat tomorrow.